I was in the kitchen one day, and I told him that I loved him. And for the first time in the 4 years of his life, he says, "I love you, Mommy." And I literally hit the floor. Our 4-year-old son, Gabe, would just scream like at the top of his lungs uncontrollably for hours upon hours. He has a lot of mental delays and speech problems. He would throw things, he would slam doors, he would hit things to the point we were like wondering about his safety, because he would just sit there and bang his head on his bed. And you know, whenever you listen to a child scream and you can't comfort them, you can't do anything about it, it's literally nerve-wracking. It honestly just makes you not feel like a parent, like you can't do it. You know, it made me feel like I couldn't be a mom for him. I have 3 other kids, and you know, they're fine, but you know, it affects them too, because I have to give Gabe all my attention, and I felt like a failure. A doctor friend of my husband's, a fellow colleague, gave my husband a supplement just to help us with brain fog and fat loss. You know, I drink this twice a day, and I literally feel amazing. I'm a mother of 4 kids. We own a practice, so I was exhausted, and when I got home at night, I was able to play with my kids. And I wasn't tired anymore. And my husband, one day, because I was literally about to lose it, said, you know, this has made us feel so good. It's safe for everybody. Why don't we try to give Gabe some? I literally just was willing to try anything. So the next morning, we gave Gabe a half a packet. He drank it. He's like, good. And, you know, he can only say about 1 and 2 words here and there. He doesn't talk a whole lot. But we started giving it to him every day, twice a day. Probably within a couple of weeks, my husband, Jeremy, came home one day and he said, you know, how was your day? And yeah, it was pretty good. And he said, well, how was Bub? And you know what? I don't think he's had a meltdown today. I don't think he's even screamed once. It was a sense of hope rather than hopelessness. You know, as the weeks went by, he got more lovey.
And he'll come up to me now and just give me a hug and love you, Mommy, and he'll want to kiss. And his brain is actually functioning to where he will be able to go to a regular school next year rather than special ed. It's brought our family back together, and I attribute all of this to Keto OS. It has totally changed our lives. My name is Sarah Thornton, and I prove it every day.